It's not often in Scotland we pick the shade, by the way. Okay, folks, just for your information, there we are at the top of the castle. Anyone who requires the washroom, toilet facilities, back between the buildings, you see the railing, the steps go down the side. Right, this is Crown Square. This is the most important part of Edinburgh Castle because it's here we keep the Scottish crown jewels. But in the centuries gone past, in times of trouble, the kings and queens of Scotland, they would come here to be safe. This was the safest castle in Scotland. This was the safest place in the kingdom. The first building in the square, huge building over here, and this is the Scottish National War Memorial. The building dates from the 18th century, opened in 1927 to commemorate all the Scottish soldiers who were killed in the First World War, 1914 to 1918. However, even today, any Scottish soldier killed in active service anywhere around the world, their names are still being added to the books, and that's within the Hall of Remembrance. That's the newest building in the square. This is the oldest. This is the Great Hall, or the Banqueting Hall. King James IV had this built, and he also had the Great Hall at Stirling Castle built. That was in 1503 to celebrate his marriage to Margaret Tudor. And Margaret Tudor, she was the eldest sister of King Henry VIII of England. And at this time, this is a marriage of convenience. This is when Scotland and England, they're trying to be friends. Even on the pipe, you can see thistles and you see roses. Rose for England and a thistle for Scotland. But we're going to jump to 1650. Oliver Cromwell, he was an English general. He invaded Scotland. He used Edinburgh Castle. This was his military base. And he turned this into the barracks for the soldiers. And it more or less stayed that way right up to the late 19th century. No longer required by the military, the Victorians thought, let's get everything out, see what's left of the original building. And luckily, the huge oak hammer beam ceiling was, and still is, in perfect condition. These huge oak beams are over 500 years old. No screws, no nails, no metal. These are perfect joints, hammered together, and they are held with huge wooden pegs. And that ceiling was built by the shipbuilders from the port here in Edinburgh, and it's actually the hull of a ship, and it's upside down. That's well worth the walk-in, well worth the picture. Next building over here, and this is a Queen Anne building, and this is 1710. This was built as the officers' barrack. It was a map-making building. And in fact, today, it's a tea room. Anybody looking for tea or coffee, that's a place to go. But the most important building in the square, this one here, this is the Royal Palace. This has been home to the Scottish Crown Jewel for over 400 years. But you see on the clock tower, that tells us 1993, that's the year Her Majesty the Queen opened the new Crown Jewel exhibition. Everything that happens in Edinburgh Castle, it gets a date. It will be part of Edinburgh Castle's history. Small door here to the right hand side, and you see up above 1566. That leads to the bedchamber of Mary Queen of Scots. And in the right-hand corner of the chamber, you'll find a birthing room. This is where she gave birth to her son, King James VI of Scotland, on June the 19th, 1566. Then, in 1603, on the death of Queen Elizabeth I, he's also crowned James I of England, which actually means that Scotland has ruled over England for the last 400 years. But it's a secret, yeah? Big secret. But the most important door in the square, central doorway under the clock tower, this leads to the honours of Scotland and to the Stone of Destiny. You're going to see a huge glass case. And inside the case, we have the crown, the sword, and the sceptre. This new crown, that was made by the order of King James V, that was in 1540. Now, James V, he was the father of Mary, Queen of Scots. She indeed was the first monarch to be crowned, using her father's new crown, and in 1543, Mary was crowned Queen of Scotland. She was 9 months old. You can see the sceptre, the gold and silver sceptre. This was the power, this was the authority of the kings of Scotland. And it was a gift to King James IV from Pope Alexander VI. That was 1494. You can see the sword of state, also a papal gift to King James IV from Pope Julius II, 1507. Now Julius, he was known as the warrior pope, and he was the pope who commissioned Michelangelo to paint the ceiling in the Sistine Chapel in Rome. But the most important thing you will see in the glass case, and indeed Edinburgh Castle this afternoon, is a huge block of sandstone. Known to us Scots, it's the Stone of Scone, more commonly known as the Stone of Destiny. This is our ancient Scottish coronation stone. The very first King of Scotland, he was called Kenneth MacAlpin. He was crowned sitting on the stone in the year 843. That was 1,172 years ago. But in 1296, King Edward I of England, Edward Longshanks, he was the hammer of the Scots. He invaded Scotland. He took the stone. This was his war prize. This was his trophy. And he takes his stone down to London, down to Westminster Abbey. He had a coronation chair built in the Abbey, the stone placed into the chair. That was his insult to the Scots. The King of England now sits upon the coronation stone of Scotland. But it stayed in the chair at Westminster Abbey for 700 years. And in 1996, Her Majesty the Queen declared it should come back to Scotland. It is a Scottish relic. So on our patron saint's day, St Andrew's Day 1996, the stone came back to Scotland, to Edinburgh Castle. However, for any future coronation, that stone still goes back to Westminster and it still goes back into the chair. No monarch can be crowned King or Queen of the United Kingdom without this stone being in the chair at Westminster Abbey. Only this time, after the coronation, there will be trouble. That stone does not come back quicker than the last 700. One day in the future back home, you may switch on your television set and there's possibly Prince Charles being crowned king. On that day, you will see that stone in the chair at Westminster Abbey. And on that day, I hope you will remember, you were this close to the stone here in Edinburgh Castle. As I've said, each of these buildings you visit, inside you'll find guides like myself. We are all here to help in any way we can answer any questions that you may have. Thank you for taking the time to walk through the castle with me this afternoon. Your turn to explore. Go inside, have fun. Thank you for your company, folks. Thank you. We're going to the whiskey.